name is Amber McGall. I'm from Akron, Ohio, and I'm a mother of two. So I became a mother at 24. I have a 13-year-old son and an 11-year-old daughter, and we are sports fanatics. We love anything football, soccer, or lacrosse. My 13-year-old son is a big football player and basketball. My 11-year-old daughter plays soccer and lacrosse. So those are our main things. When we're not at home or at school, we're always on the road doing all of those adventures with the kids because sports is our number one thing to do. So we started to notice something was different with Ava when she was around 4, when we had to do a preschool interview, and the preschool told us she wasn't qualified to be in their classroom. And they told us that we needed to look elsewhere for an education system. That's when we first started to notice that maybe there is something more just, the usual that we need to address or figure out, because they wouldn't even have her in the preschool program. After that, we, spoke to the pediatrician. We spoke to her specialist. We told her, things that we observed. We also, told her what happened when we went to the interview. And so the first thing that the, doctor recommended was medication. That's what we started with. We had her on medication for about 3 years. And we just went from one medication to the next, and nothing was working. And I was getting frustrated because we were looking for more answers and we weren't getting them from our regular, pediatrician that we were seeing. So I ended up finding the Dana's program for the ADHD children through Facebook. I was scrolling one day, just, looking at posts, and I saw it pop up. I had never seen it before. And it was a more natural way to, handle or resolve children with ADHD. So I clicked on it and I started reading the information. And the one thing that I really enjoyed was that they did functional lab testing. They wanted to do, 3 sets of tests first to actually determine what was going on before they just put her on a medication. And that was the number one reason why I clicked on it and wanted to go forward, because no one had ever asked to do a test before. They just, boom, let's try a medication, and they didn't necessarily know if it was going to work or not. So that was what intrigued me, was that we were able to do tests and see what was going on before they came up with a diagnosis or a solution. So my daughter, being a big, soccer and lacrosse fan and player, the one thing that, we needed to do was get her on a regular routine where she would get a good night's sleep to prepare her for her games and practices. And that's something that we could never do. She never slept more than 2 to 3 hours at a time, was always up multiple times throughout the night. We tried melatonin. We, rubbed lavender on her feet, did different things, and nothing worked. It wasn't until we started Dana's program and we started changing the diet that she's actually now sleeping 8, 9, 10 hours a day. And it gets her ready and prepared for school the next day and all her, sporting events. And that's the one thing that we noticed was a huge change in sleep pattern, and it's made such an improvement in her lifestyle. So the one thing that we were able to do after going through Dana's program and doing the nutrition method for kids, that was something that we were never able to do before, was actually have a birthday party for her, where she had friends, several of her close girlfriends that came. She did a sleepover, and there were, several kids that came, were excited to be there, happy to be there, that are really close friends with her. And that's something we have never been able to do before we joined the program, because we've seen such an improvement in her behavior and her relationship with people that she's able to make friends now. And that's something that we were able to do to, celebrate her birthday, but also celebrate her success through going through this program. So the one thing as a parent, when we had to do the program and we had to eliminate so many foods, a lot of times, that seems so overwhelming. But the easiest thing for us, and what I enjoyed the most, was Pinterest. Pinterest was my lifesaver. I went on there and we found that a paleo diet was the most useful. So I would go on Pinterest and I would type in paleo recipes. And to this day, I'm on Pinterest 3 to 4 times a week getting recipes, trying something new and different so that she can eat, yet there's still foods that taste good and that everyone likes. So as a parent, my advice is get on Pinterest. It gives you so many recipes and it's a lifesaver.